Hi, I'm Agent Meade, and today I'll show you how to set up the Google Nest Doorbell Wired 2nd Generation. This will allow you to see who's at the door and talk to them through the built-in speaker and mic. I'll also show you how to use a Nest Mini 2nd Generation to let you know when someone's at the door. This is super helpful if you don't have a doorbell chime or if there are areas in your home where you can't hear it. Alright, here's what you'll need. The Google Nest Doorbell Wired and all the included accessories, a smartphone, I'll be using the Google Pixel 7, the Google Home app installed on your smartphone and logged into your Google account, your network login information, a pencil, a Phillips head screwdriver, a drill, a 3/32 inch or 2mm drill bit, a 1/4 inch or 6mm masonry bit, and a hammer if you need to drill into brick or stucco, a level, and I'll be using a multimeter that allows me to check for electrical current and voltage. This tool isn't required to be able to set up the doorbell, but I like to use it as a safety precaution. Along those lines, before we begin, it's important to know that the wired doorbell requires electricity. If you feel uncomfortable at any point, stop right away and call an electrician. It's always better to be safe than sorry. And in some areas, Geek Squad agents can come out to your home and install the doorbell for you. Check out the link in the notes below to see if that's an option in your area. All right, let's jump into it. First, let's talk about your existing doorbell. There are two types of chimes, electronic and mechanical. Mechanical chimes have two plungers that make the traditional ding-dong sound when the doorbell is pressed. Digital chimes typically play a melody when the doorbell is pressed and often use a speaker. During the install process, we'll be connecting the new doorbell to the existing chime. However, this isn't required and can sometimes cause power-related issues depending on your situation. So if you'd rather skip that portion, just know the doorbell can be used without connecting your existing chime. All right, here we go. First, let's check the current doorbell to make sure it's getting enough power to support the new one. Remove it and then check the voltage. This is where I like to use my multimeter. The Nest Doorbell Wired requires 16 to 24 VAC. If your reading isn't between that, you'll need to replace your transformer with one that's at least 16 VAC and 30 VA. Transformers are often located in a nearby closet, the doorbell chime box, in a utility room, near the main electrical panel, or even in the attic. If you can't find yours or are not comfortable with replacing it, contact an electrician before moving on to the next step. All right, my voltage is between 16 to 24, so I'm getting enough power to proceed with the install. The next step is turning off the power to your doorbell system. This is done at your breaker or fuse box. To make sure the power is off, ring the doorbell. If you don't hear a chime, that's good. Do a second test with the multimeter. Before we turned the power off, we were getting a reading. However, now that the power is off, we're not. That's a good sign that no electrical current is present. Now that I've confirmed the power is off, I'll disconnect the wires from the doorbell. You might need to bend the wires so they don't slide back into the hole. Next, open the Google Home app and press the plus sign. From here, tap on Set up a device. On the next screen, we are going to tap on New Device. Choose your home location and then tap Next. The app will look for devices to set up, but it won't find it yet. Once it's done, tap on Doorbell. Now tap on Nest Doorbell Wired 2nd Gen. Scan the QR code that's on the back of the doorbell. Once it is recognized, tap on Continue. Read through the Google device arbitration information and tap on No Thanks or I Agree. I'm going to tap on I Agree. Read and scroll through the usage guidelines and then tap on Next. Read through the privacy guidelines and tap on Next. If you want to help Google improve the Nest Doorbell, tap on Yes, I'm in. If you don't want to, tap on No Thanks. I'm going to tap on Yes, I'm in. Now for these next steps, the app will walk you through each step. Once you're done with each step, you can tap on Next to move to the next one. Follow along and feel free to pause this video along the way. Before turning off the power, we confirmed that we're getting enough of an electrical current to power the doorbell, so we don't need to change the transformer. We have our tools nearby and are ready to get to work. Now, locate the chime connector puck that is included with the doorbell. Go to your chime box and remove the cover along with any batteries inside. They don't always have batteries, so don't worry if you don't see any. Now, just for reference, take a picture of your chime's existing wiring. This is good to have in case you need to reference it later. If you already had a video doorbell connected and have a chime connector installed, disconnect it from the chime. Count how many wires are connected to the terminals in your chime and select that option in the app. Mine has 3, so I'll select that option. Now look at the labels on your terminals. Tap the option that matches the best. Mine are clearly labeled, so I'll tap that option. Here you'll select the door. Mine is the front door. Next, you'll see instructions. Mine is telling me to unscrew the front and trans terminals. Now we'll connect the chime connector wires to the terminals. It doesn't matter the order that the wires are connected. Tighten the screws and give the chime connector wires a little tug to ensure they're secured. Find a place in the chime that won't interfere with the chime mechanism. There's an adhesive backing that you can use to stick it to a surface. If you need to, you can even attach the chime connector to the cover and tuck the wire inside. We'll put the cover back on, making sure that's secured. Now grab the doorbell and the mounting plate. The Nest doorbell comes with a wedge if you want to mount it at an angle. If you're going to use that, tap yes. If you're like me and don't need it, tap no. Before we start mounting, we need to make sure there's going to be at least 1 inch of space above the doorbell. We need this to access the security screw. Put the base plate on the wall and keep the hole where the wires are coming out below the center point of the large middle hole in the base plate. Before we mark the holes, grab a level and make sure the base plate is straight. Once you find the right spot, mark the screw holes. If the surface is rough, like with brick or stucco, you can use the included spacers to help fill in the gap to give you a good fit. Now drill your pilot holes in the spots that you marked. If you're going into brick or stucco, use the masonry bit and then hammer in the wall anchors. If not, use your standard bit. You don't need the anchors if you're using wood or siding. Now, with the tab at the top of the base plate pointing towards you, pull the doorbell wires through the center hole and align the mounting holes with the pilot holes you made. Put the plate onto the wall with the included screws. Before tightening them all the way, use the level again to make sure the base plate is straight. Don't over-tighten the screws or it might bend the base plate. If needed, attach the doorbell connectors to the wires. Press down on the clamps and then give a little tug to make sure they're secure. Then attach the connectors to the doorbell and tighten the screws. Put the wires flat against the back of the doorbell and tuck any extra back into the wall. Now attach the doorbell to the base plate by aligning the circles on the doorbell with the mounting holes on the base plate. Once they're in, push down on the doorbell so it locks into place. Take the included hex key and tighten the security screw on the top of the doorbell until it's flush. Again, make sure you don't over-tighten the screw. Gently tug on the doorbell to make sure it's secure in the base plate. We are almost there. Now flip the power back on and go back to the doorbell to finish the installation. Look for the little status light below the camera. It should be flashing blue. If it's flashing yellow, the doorbell isn't getting enough power from the transformer and it'll need to be replaced. But as you can see, mine is flashing blue, so I'm okay to proceed, so I'll tap yes. If your voltage is high enough but the doorbell still isn't getting power, it may have to do with your existing wiring. In this case, it may be best to contact an electrician to help. The app will now attempt to connect to the doorbell. Make sure you stay near the doorbell through this entire process. The Google Home app will then scan for your wireless network. Tap on it and then tap Next. Type the password for the network and tap on Next. The app will then get the doorbell connected. When that happens, you'll hear a chime. In the app, choose the location. Again, mine is at the front door, so I will choose that. Tap on Next to move to the next screen. Now it'll look for updates, and if there are any, they'll be installed. After that, you'll see the live video. Tap on Next. You'll see that there's a green light beneath the camera. This comes on anytime the doorbell is recording. If it's blinking, that means someone is viewing the live stream. Since this is the wired version, it comes with 3 hours of event history. Choose if you want to leave this enabled and tap Next. Now adjust the microphone settings. I'm going to enable the microphone and audio recording. Now let's test the chime. Make sure to select if you have an electronic chime. I don't, so I'll leave this unselected. Press the doorbell button to try it out. Your chime should have made its normal sound. You may have also noticed that the doorbell itself made a sound. This lets people know that they pressed the button correctly. One thing I love about the Nest doorbells is that they have a variety of sounds you can select from the Google Home app. Okay, tap on Next to continue. choose the language that you want if you plan to use one of the pre-recorded messages. This screen will give you information on Nest Aware, which gives you more features. For example, you get more event history recordings, the camera will recognize familiar faces, and you can get more intelligent alerts. If you want to try it out, tap on Start 30-Day Trial. There is a cost after the trial, and the app will explain those costs. I'm going to tap on Not Now. You can always go into settings later and activate if you change your mind. If you want information sent to your email about Google products, tap Sign Up. I'm going to skip this and tap on No Thanks. Once you get to this screen, you are all set. Tap on Done and you'll be taken to the home screen of the Google Home app. You can see your doorbell here and tap on it to get a live view, look at history, make changes, and set up activity zones so you can get notified when someone is right at your front door. Speaking of settings, let's get a Nest speaker to announce when the doorbell is pressed. In the settings portion of the doorbell, tap on Doorbell. Next, enable Visitor Announcements. This will enable your Google Nest or home speakers and displays. If you have a smart display, Chromecast with Google TV, or Android TV, you may also be able to see the live stream from the camera. And that's it! The Google Nest Doorbell Wired is set up and ready to go. Take some time to check out the settings for the doorbell in the Google Home app and pick the ones that are right for you. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, give it a like. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tech tips from Best Buy. Thanks for watching.